everyone, Yara here, and today is a beautiful day. Our current weather is 4 degrees Celsius, the warmest it has been this winter by far, and I decided to quickly make this video and give you guys an update on how part of our Bees Are Funny bee yard is doing. Now, last week, our weather wasn't as nice. The first few days that we had from last week, our temperatures ranged between minus 35 to almost minus 50. It was really cold. Because of that, I was really worried about the sudden change in temperature and how our hives were going to manage through it. Before that cold temperature, I do come here almost every week to make sure that the entrances are cleared of snow so that they could have air circulating and ventilating inside the hive, and also just making sure that they're alive. When I came here about 2 weeks ago, all the hives were alive. However, because of how cold it got, I didn't get the opportunity to, check my hives last week because of how cold it got. But today, there's no excuse. I'm going to go check on them because of how nice it is outside. Not only am I going to do that to make sure that they're alive, I'm also going to be clearing some more snow because it snowed yesterday again. Walking here was pretty difficult because of how much snow we have. We're currently sitting at over 1.5 feet of snow, so even walking here was a little difficult. But other than that, I'm going to be, making sure that they're alive, clearing some snow, and I'm also going to, just give you guys an update on how they're doing. All right, so here we are. Welcome to part of our Bees Are Funny bee yard. Standing in this area, I can see a lot of brown spots, which means that they came out and fly to do their cleansing flight. And I'm also noticing few dead bees lying around, which is another good sign for me to make sure and say that the beehives are alive. But I still either way need to go check and get rid of all that snow over here. Over here in this part, the snow has basically almost kind of melted in there. So I like to look for that because that means that the heat of the bees has also worked to remove that snow in the entrances there. This is our second year of putting these hives in these type of system. Before the year ago, we had 4 actually sitting in this apiary. One accidentally died, so I had to, I only am here with 3 left in this bee yard. Okay, so far I see 1 bee come out of that hive. So that probably means that it's alive. But either way, I'm going to walk over there myself. Currently standing about 5 feet away from the hives, and look at that. Look how active that one is. That's awesome. And not even that. Take a look at that one. So all these brown spots, they're the feces of the bees. There's a pile of dead bees over here. I'm really happy that so far I know that 2 are definitely alive. However, I'm pretty worried about this one, and without further ado. So like I said earlier, part of the reason why I shovel the snow is because I must make sure that air is circulating through the hive. You can see that we have top entrances and the bottom entrances, so that way air comes in and the air can also come out. Now, because we're using these Finland bee boxes, and we actually added that top entrance because it didn't come with it in the beginning. It's something that Melvie and I did to kind of improve it. The bees, when they come in, whether they come in from the bottom or the top, if they come to the top, they're gonna meet themselves with the feeder. This is where we put our syrup in, and inside the feeder, there's a plastic cover. I'll show you guys now, and I'll also show you what we did to make sure that the bees, when they fly in, they don't drown into the syrup and instead go into the hive. But I'll show you guys after I clear all the snow. Be back. All right, So far, I see no action in this middle hive right here. There's a lot of bees over here in this one. This one I can definitely tell they're alive. This one they just went inside. But so far I see no bees flying or anything in this one, so we'll see how that's going. Other than making sure that their entrances are clear, another thing that we do for the bees so they can survive this cold Canadian winter, other than making sure that they have lots of honey so they can survive, we also during the fall do the mite check or mite control. If, say for example, you're keeping bees and all of a sudden you come across a huge infestation of mites, you need to get rid of that immediately, because no matter how much honey you give the bees, no matter, all these checks that you do, all the honey, all the syrup that you give them, anything, if you don't have a good mite control during the fall, your bees are not going to survive the winter, especially if you live in this area. All right, entrance is cleared. The mites, or the mite control that we mostly do is for the Varroa destructor, which is the main mite problem that Canadians and many beekeepers around the world have. We make sure that our bees go to the winter without any of those mites, because as you may know, or if you don't, Varroas live off the bees by first laying their eggs in this bee cell where the queen will lay eggs, to make bees, and they live off the bees, feeding on them until it's time for them to hatch. The mites are very prolific, and they can kill an entire hive. So that is why we make sure that our bees do not go into the winter season with those mites, because that will decrease the chances of our bees surviving the winter. So that is why we control for mites, especially the Varroa destructor, during the fall, other than replacing old queens, feeding them, make sure that they're nice and cozy, etc. Look how active they are over here. Really good sign, really good sign. Here, not as active, but there's still a lot of bees there. This one, before we put them to winter, I noticed that this hive is our strongest hive. This here is something that Malvi and I customed on the hive. This is what I was telling you earlier. Because we made that custom entrance in the roof, we also needed some way to make sure that the bees will go into the hive and basically, not drown into the syrup. This is where the syrup would be. So in this way, they have access to the syrup without drowning, and they also have access into the hive. Now, I do not hear any bees at all in this hive, but I'm just going to quickly open it and make sure. I heard no bees. These entrances are all covered. Usually this would be melted, and there would be a lot of warm air coming out, but I feel nothing, so I will see. Oh man. Okay. Yeah, never mind. I'm gonna just quickly close it. Alright, so this is what I noticed. I did see few bees in the top box. I don't want to go and leave them open out for much longer because it's getting a little bit cold now. But what I saw, there was a very, very small cluster of bees in this hive in the top box. So I got to see only what's on the top. I don't know if they are alive at the bottom or if, overall these are just a few survivors that are left. I don't want to open it up any more than I already did until we get warmer weather and, spring comes. it's still technically winter, and usually we do our first year check around March, early March, April as well. I'm gonna leave them off as they are. Like I said, I saw almost no bees on the top box. I don't know if they are alive at the bottom, but I already opened them up for too long. I'm just gonna make sure that no matter if they are alive or if they're not, I'm gonna make sure that the entrance is cleared, making sure that there is no ice in them, blocking the ventilation flow. Oh, I saw one bee coming out of that hive. All right, yeah. I'm pretty sure it may be still alive. Maybe not as strong as these two are, but I'm going to make sure that their entrances are cleared, and I'm going to leave them for now. Alright, yeah, so that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please leave a big thumbs up if you liked it. Comment down below what you guys do to prepare your bees actually for the winter, and if you do, let us know, and also if you have any recommendations, and also what your winter check is like. I'm really hoping that this hive makes it. Like I said, I didn't see a lot of bees on the top. I did see just a few, but I hope I'm wrong and the bottom box is filled with bees. I didn't see any flying out other than that one. But anyways, I'll let you guys know with our social media when we're going to do our spring check and make sure who made it and who did not. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to our channel. We like to share a lot of videos about bees, 4-H, and many other different topics. And also click the little bell so then you'll be notified every single time we upload. My name is Yara and you're watching Bees Are Funny. See you next time.